Today on Animal Outtakes,
Who wants to touch him?
from hedgehogs in the classroom to turtles and bunnies, we're exploring some small pets that have made a home in our hearts.
Yeah, you are just a snuggle bunny. You are a snuggle bunny. Hello again, and welcome back to Animal Outtakes.
Yeah, the show that's all about the wonderment and beauty of animals. But then, as a counterpoint, there's Lou. I thought we all agreed the butterfly wouldn't have a speaking part.
What do you have in that box, Lou?
Oh, I have a new pet. I can't wait to show him to you.
I don't know. That's an awfully big box. Should I be nervous?
Is it a peeve? I think everyone should have a pet peeve. Believe me, I already got one of those.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lou's new pet.
His name is Muddy Helmet von Schwimmer.
No, it's not. It's Frederick. I don't know why he calls me that, you big silly.
It's just a little turtle. Look at that, bud.
That ain't no pet. You just pulled him out of the creek. A pet is something big, like a dog or a lion.
Well, actually, a lion? Actually, there are lots of unusual little animals that can make great companions at home, like rabbits and turtles or even snakes. Sometimes these little pets can even be found in the classroom, providing valuable lessons for students.
Oh, how long do I have to be your pet anyway?
I don't know. What's your lifespan?
My lifespan? Oh, look, I gotta be home for dinner tonight, back at the creek. Lifespan? Yeah, right. I'm gonna spend my lifespan with you.
I'm telling you, get yourself a lion.
Stick around, because today we'll be looking at some small pets that have made their way into our hearts and homes. Kathy, who have we got playing in here?
We have Peter Rabbit, and we have little Sophie.
Kathy Getchus loves bunnies.
I like having a pet, and bunnies are my pet of choice. A lot of people like cats. A lot of people like dogs. Bunnies are my pet of choice.
She's a foster parent for the Small Animal Rescue for Pigs and Buns, which specializes in guinea pigs and rabbits.
Peter was a failed foster.
Oh, didn't make the cut?
Well, he made the cut. He ended up staying. I was only supposed to have him for a few weeks, and he ended up just staying.
Peter is Mini Rex, a breed known for its soft fur. It's one of the most popular breeds of rabbit in the country, topping out at about 4.5 pounds. Sophie is a lionhead rabbit, also small and soft like the Mini Rex, but the lionhead has a mane of fur around the head and ears. Both breeds can live to be 10 years old or older.
Now their eyes are widely set apart. How is the eyesight keen or very keen?
They can see quite a bit with the eyes. They can see like 360 degrees.
While dogs and cats top the list for the most popular house pet, rabbits like Peter and Sophie consistently make the list of animals kept as companions.
This is an unusual pet that you would have, and especially here in your home, in your living room. Why have you decided to take care of these rabbits, and why is it so important?
Why? They're fun. They're a fun pet to have. They are affectionate. They play. To watch them play is hysterical sometimes.
But Kathy warns, as much fun as they are, owning a rabbit has many responsibilities.
Is this a pet that you would suggest for many families?
After they did their research. Rabbit's not a pet for a parent to bring into the house for the child. A rabbit is a family pet. There's feeding, there's grooming, there's cleaning, you know. They're not just beautiful bunnies all the time. There's a lot of behind the scenes work, so to speak.
Kathy suggests fostering a rabbit before buying one to get a better idea of the care and commitment required to keep these animals. Rabbits need a cage or pen that is at least 4 or 5 times the size of the animal, and they should be kept in an area where they'll get constant positive interaction. And we can't forget that diet, which consists of food pellets, along with hay, and fresh vegetables and fruits.
They graze throughout the day. I always have hay down for them, always. They have fresh water out, 1 or 2 bowls, one end of the room or the other. I generally give them 1/4 cup of pellets each every day, once a day. They get their veggies twice a day, some in the morning and some at night.
And of course, we have to ask, carrots?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, a lot of carrots.
No, small amounts of
Small
carrots.
ones.
Carrots are very high in calories, believe it or not. So if you take a big carrot with a little bunny, you're going to start seeing some poundage.
So you do have to control their weight.
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
You need to control the diet. You need to control their weight. If they get heavy or obese, just like a regular human, there's medical issues.
These rabbits are cuddly. You hold them. When we came to see you the first time, you were holding them and you're cuddling them. Can you show us just how cuddly they are?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Would he let me hold him?
I'll bet he would.
You think? What do you think, Peter? Huh? Yeah?
Come over here. Put him down on your lap.
It's okay. It's okay, sweetie. It's okay. There we are.
It's okay. Mommy's right here, sweetie.
Oh, yes.
He'll climb up on you.
Oh, that's okay. There. Oh, it's so soft. Well, if you're missing Peter, he'll be
Check
with
the
me.
pockets.
Still ahead on Animal Outtakes.
And we've had rabbits, we've had guinea pigs, we have gerbils and hamsters and hermit crabs and everything else. So I said, oh, can't we have a hedgehog?
How one small pet is enriching the lives of some young students. But first,
These lizards are actually generally pretty gentle by nature.
we take a look at some reptiles and what goes into keeping these creatures as your companion.
For thousands of years, we've been humans' best friend. You've been through a lot, and we've been right there with you. A dog is part of the family, a confidant, and a friend who always knows how to get into your heart. So what happens to our beloved companions when we can no longer care for them? This is why we've created Dante's Den, an innovative, state-of-the-art facility that will provide care for up to 100 dogs.
Dante's Den is a community for joyful dogs.
Millions of Americans face uncertainty when planning for the future of beloved pets who may well outlive them. Dante's Den is a charitable organization, so in whatever capacity you can, please lend your support so that we may continue this most wonderful work.
Dante and I would like to thank you for watching and for also opening up your hearts to our wonderful community of joyful dogs.
Learn about the many ways you could become involved by visiting dantesden.org.
Every year at the beginning of February, crowds gather in a small Pennsylvania town to see one particular rodent. Legend has it, if Phil sees his shadow, we're in for 6 more weeks of winter. But if he doesn't, we can expect an early spring. Groundhogs, also known as woodchucks, are actually the largest members of the squirrel family. They feast on fruits and veggies in the spring and summer, and then hibernate through the winter. Organizers are emphatic. Phil is the only weather forecasting groundhog around.
Phil looked to the sky and gazed around his stump.
His faithful followers have been making this trek to Gobbler's Knob since the 1800s.
My weather forecast you cannot contradict.
But you might want to take his prediction with a grain of salt. His forecast is only 39% accurate. If rabbits aren't your thing, why not check out a reptile for a pet? Charlene Moreau owns Seascape Aquarium's Pet Center in Sarasota. a very different kind of pet store.
We have fish, birds, reptiles, rodents, rabbits, everything but dogs and cats.
No dogs or cats.
Just
That was
dogs
the
and
first thing
cats.
we noticed.
Among their collection of animals for sale, turtles, lizards, and snakes. Some, like this tortoise named Fred, have a long life ahead of them.
He's about 8 to 10 years.
Okay.
And this is a baby. This got food in her mouth. This is probably a female. This is a male. Males don't get as big as the females, as in all tortoises. But they're the same species. And Fred can live about 60 years.
So he's going to get quite large.
He's going to get a little bit bigger. The females will probably get twice that size.
From size to lifespan, turtles require a big commitment. But what about some other reptiles, like lizards?
This is Godzilla. He is a common green iguana, and he's one of the 2 iguanas that lives here at Sarasota Jungle Gardens with us. He was actually a pet that was donated to the zoo because his owner just didn't feel like they could keep him anymore.
Jeremiah Nickel, who cares for reptiles at Jungle Gardens, says iguanas are fascinating creatures, and they can make great pets.
These lizards are actually generally pretty gentle by nature. They're never really aggressive or mean towards people, but like any animal, they can definitely defend themselves if they feel threatened. Very strong, very powerful animal. These guys are excellent climbers, so they have to be able to support their own weight, which is, pretty significant for an adult iguana. They also have a lot of power in their tail. I noticed you were petting his tail earlier. Their tail is actually a very effective weapon. They can swing with it and hit really hard
And
as
it's long.
a way to deter predators. Yep. And that tail also helps them to swim. Iguanas are excellent swimmers. He is an exothermic animal, meaning he gets his body heat from an outside source. He doesn't really regulate his own temperature. So when it's cold out like this, his metabolism is going to slow way down. He's not going to want to move around a whole lot, and that's why.
Back at Seascape Aquarium, Charlene tells us one of the biggest challenges in owning a reptile is recreating their natural habitat inside your home.
You have to duplicate the natural light from outside as well as heat in their environment, like our Uromastics. They have to have it really hot. They're from Africa. The bearded dragons, all of them have to have UVA, some UVB. The ones that have to have the least are the leopard geckos and the snakes, which are mostly nocturnal.
So if you're thinking about getting a reptile, make sure to do your homework. Find out how big they will be when they're adults and what kind of environment they need to not just survive, but thrive.
This is a snake a child can have.
Really?
A 5-year-old. My 8-year-old daughter
You don't
loves
mind
snakes.
if I step back a
No,
little
but
bit?
this is a ball python, and this is one of the easiest snakes. Rarely do they bite, and they only get about 3.5, 4 feet, and then they get to be just a big, fat, lazy snake. This is a really interesting one. This is a blue-tongued skink, and they consider this a lap pet, just to sit in your lap, like a puppy.
Next on Animal Outtakes,
What happens when it gets really loud in here?
He likes to curl up in a ball
Because why?
because they're yelling and screeching.
an unusual animal is teaching young students an important lesson. We'll introduce you to Merlin after the break.
Critical Vet Care is guided by the belief that companion animals deserve state-of-the-art medical care and a kind and comforting environment. The courage of our patients, the loyalty of their human families, and the devotion of our referral veterinarians inspire our vision. It is sustained by the contributions of our compassionate, knowledgeable, and dedicated staff, and built upon a strong tradition of providing excellent health care for animals. To learn more, visit us online at www.criticalvetcare.com.
And now, here's Bud and Lou.
Dolores, I found out who the killer is. The killer is...
What was that, John? I didn't quite catch that.
I said, the killer is... Oh, for crying out loud.
What is it? Hey, Grumpy Face. Old Lou came by to visit you. Wow, I've never been here before. This is your place? It's beautiful. Yeah, I got a lot of investments. Well, you know how you're always saying you want a pet of your own? You know, 'cause you're my pet. I ain't your pet. I'm a wild animal. A free and feral beast of the wilderness. Yeah, wild butterfly with stock options. Well, I went to the farmer's market today, and guess what I got you? A farmer. No, look, a little pet of your own. Did it come with bacon? This ain't breakfast, this is the pet. It's gonna be a little baby chick. Oh yeah? What do I do with it? Well, you just sit on it until it hatches. Now you go sit on it, and I'll be here watching your extremely huge TV. I ain't sitting on a dirty old egg from the farmer's market. Do you want a pet or not? It needs a big feathery butt, which I don't have. You sit on it. And what are you saying? I think I was fairly clear. Fine, but I ain't house training it. It's your pet. Ooh, look, it's doing something. Oh, good gracious, it's adorable. Oh, I love you, little chick. You're my little itty-bitty pet, and I'm gonna take care of you forever.
We're all out of Doritos, and I'm bored.
Well, the little part of little pet didn't last very long.
For the last time, Dolores, I'm telling you, the name of the killer is...
I love doing that to him.
The children at the Early Care Center preschool in Sarasota are interacting with their classroom pet, Merlin, a hedgehog.
Why did you decide that a hedgehog would be a wonderful teaching?
So I can touch him.
We didn't know. It was an experiment.
Sue Lunkarik is the center director and came up with the idea of bringing Merlin to school.
And we've had rabbits, we've had guinea pigs, we have gerbils and hamsters and hermit crabs and everything else. And see, Pinterest is a very bad thing, because I was looking on pictures of animals and pictures of hedgehogs came up. And hedgehogs are not on the list of forbidden animals to preschools. So I said, oh, can't we have a hedgehog?
Sue contacted several breeders to see if any would be interested in donating a hedgehog. And after a few responses, she chose Merlin.
Merlin was a little bit older when we got him. He was 8 months. He's a year now. He's about as big as he's going to get. And we brought him in, and it's taken about 4 months for him to actually bond to Lisa and myself to where we can pick him up.
Hedgehogs are mammals, native to Europe, Asia, and Africa. They're instantly recognizable by the spines on their back, hollow hairs that are used as protection against predators.
Now, what we're seeing here is that Merlin is pretty happy. Mm-hmm. And he's chatting away and he's doing what he's supposed to do, right? But if the wrong person touches him, what does he do?
He'll curl up in a ball. Now, if I go to pick him up, his first defense mechanism is to curl into a ball. Then he smells my hands and then he'll come out. So let's try. Let's see what he's going to do. Come here, baby. Okay. See, I'm going to pick him up and scoop him up from underneath. And so, because he's used to me, he didn't curl into a ball.
When full grown, hedgehogs are only about 5 to 8 inches long and usually weigh less than 1 1/4 pounds. In the wild, hedgehogs munch on insects like beetles, grasshoppers, and earthworms. But as pets, they get that protein in a different way.
Now, what do you feed Merlin?
Now, Merlin eats he eats dry cat food. It has to have a high protein content. So we can't just feed him like the store brand stuff. Mm-hmm. He was eating Imes. We're trying him on Purina 1 right now, which has the highest protein content that I have seen so far.
Is he a fickle eater?
Yes.
Is
now,
he?
we've tried him on a lot of different stuff. He likes boiled eggs. He likes chicken. Oh, he had a field day at Thanksgiving with the turkey. But he doesn't like strawberries. He doesn't like bananas.
Now, he has a home. He has a cage.
Yes.
So he spends most of his day in this cage?
Yes, and he also has a ferret ball that we can put him in, and then he'll roll around the classroom.
Besides being a classroom companion, Sue says Merlin has helped as a teaching tool for her young students.
Well, just the vocabulary itself. This is something different that we've never had before. There are a lot of literacy elements to him as well, because the hedgehog is featured in the Jan Brett books, the mitten and the hat and all the other things. So we can loop that literacy component into all of our science and stuff.
He wants a friendly touch.
That's right.
Friendly touch.
What happens when it gets really loud in here?
He likes to curl up in a ball.
Because why?
Because they're yelling
And how big are his ears?
little.
Just
Very
teeny
little,
tiny.
aren't they? They're
So
very,
he
very
only can
tiny.
hear little teeny tiny noises, otherwise it hurts his ears.
So, what is his average day?
Yeah, he was
He
right.
sleeps all day, unless we wake him up.
Really?
Yes, usually he'll be on his wheel and stuff when Lisa comes in first thing in the morning. But by the time the children get here, he's usually sleeping.
Because he is nocturnal.
He is nocturnal.
He is nocturnal. So he's really up against his wishes right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he gets used to it.
We'll be right back.
If taking your pet to the veterinarian creates conflicts in your busy schedule, Rosemary Vet may be a perfect solution. We are open 7 days a week, providing complete veterinary care during convenient evening and weekend hours to accommodate you and your pet. Rosemary Vet is located in downtown Sarasota in the trendy Rosemary District at 650 Central Avenue, Unit 2. To learn more, visit us at www.rosemaryvet.com.
And now it's time for the furry and famous Animal Outtakes VI Pets.
Yes, you are. You're a good girl.
I'm Lindsay Carlton, the First Lady of Sarasota. I'm a female impersonator. I do Cher, Barbra Streisand. I do Liza Minnelli. I do in my shows. I lip sync and I also sing live. This is Fossey. He's my boy. He is 10 years old. And this is Jada, and she's 3.5. She is a miniature schnauzer, and he's a Silky Terrier miniature schnauzer mix. I got him at the sheriff's department. He was an abused animal, which was so sad, and they actually kicked his front teeth out, and it was horrible. And I hate to say that because I don't want him to hear it. And then she actually came from a friend that couldn't take care of her anymore, so I took her. I'm adopted. So I thought how fabulous that is to be adopted. I wanted to adopt dogs. What do I like? What do I love about having dogs? They are wonderful. They're my companions. They help me through all the good times and all the bad times. And it's so nice to come home and open up that door and be wanted. You know what I mean? It's the greatest thing in the world.
See, she doesn't look at me. She can't stand it. She thinks, this is something funny.
They prefer me as Grayling. When I come out and make it up, they're like, are you kidding me? They know the voice. They don't care for the look. Like, I can just try to make her look at me, and she's like, I don't want to look back. She wants to look at me as Grayling. They don't get why I'm dressed in lashes and wig and all that. They don't get it. I just recently bought a bus, and I'm going to be traveling and doing the tour. So I kind of got it for the dogs too. Someone will stay with them, but and then I'll come back and they'll be there, and we'll haul home. We'll just go home. It'll be fun, because I hated putting them in a kennel or anything, So they're going to be traveling with me, yes, and they can't wait. I've already told them all about it. They've brightened my day up big time. They always have. I remind them every day how special they are.
And that's it for this episode of Animal Outtakes. We hope you've enjoyed our look at some small pets that hold a big place in our hearts, and why owning a small animal doesn't necessarily mean a smaller responsibility.
Yeah, take it from a small pet. Even a butterfly needs a lot of love. Forget butterflies. I got the smallest pet there is. Say hello to Jerry.
What do you have there? I don't see anything.
It's my new pet, a flea. A flea? Nobody ain't got no love for no flea.
But your grammar needs a little work.
You're darn right. She's 92 years old. And he tells jokes, too. Listen.
My only job options are to join the circus or sit around and be a parasite.
Yay! That was funny. Oh, shoot. I guess a small pet is a big responsibility. Well, he was until about 10 seconds ago.
I'm sorry, Lou. Maybe you can get another one someday.
Oh, I got plenty of them.
Join us again next week for another outstanding animal adventure. Special, huh? What do you think?